The Singapore Formula One Grand Prix brings in the tourist dollar, and it also showcases the city's skyline for millions around the world. But the question remains, should the government renew the Formula One contract for 5 more years, despite the lack of interest that Singaporeans have in the sport? So do you think Singapore should still host F1 for 5 more years?
No, because I think it's a waste of money and resources.
We can still try, but I think it's not that worthwhile because the response is not that good compared to the first time that we host. The response is getting worse.
No, I don't think they should. We are losing the interest already. Yeah, I think it's just waste of money.
Losing the interest from whom, Could you share a bit more?
From Singaporeans and tourists also. 5 years is enough.
I don't really have a very strong or against view of F1, so if it comes, then it comes. If it doesn't come, then so be it.
Really more indifferent. Yeah, I don't benefit, neither do I suffer, because it really doesn't affect me.
If we do host F1, right, it does put Singapore on top of, shoulder to shoulder with some of the countries, and it gets known around the world. So in terms of image-wise, yes, but in terms of monetary-wise, no.
I think they should. It attracts tourists. I think it makes Singapore a more vibrant country, and I think being a world global event, it really puts Singapore on the map. And it's really. I think it's great.
Adjunct lecturer Regina Yeo tells us that she's not a big fan of Formula One, but watching Singapore host the F1 race instills a sense of pride in her.
I was watching the game on TV, and it's dusk, it's twilight, and it gave me a sense of pride. As the camera pans across the city skyline, and then you see all the buildings being lit up, it's like Christmas comes early, that kind of feeling and all that. Makes me feel proud to be a Singaporean.
With a year to go before the 5-year contract expires, Second Minister for Trade and Industry, S. Iswaran, has said the government will engage independent consultants to assess the value of continuing the F1 races for the country. He believes negotiations should come to a head before next year's race and hopes to find a mutually beneficial agreement sooner rather than later.
The renewal of the contract really must depend on the economic viability. And so far, we haven't had a proper full study to know what the benefits and the costs are. Well, ultimately, whatever we try to do in Singapore should ultimately benefit Singaporeans. If it does not benefit Singaporeans directly in terms of the F1 being of direct interest, it should have some kind of indirect benefit. So the argument really is on the indirect benefits. Does the fact that you change the image of Singapore, that you bring in a lot of very, very high spending tourists, at least during a couple of weeks, does this generate enough net benefits to the average Singaporean to make it worthwhile?
I think Singaporeans should not be myopic. And we have to see that the event, the activity itself, is actually for the benefit of Singapore in that sense, in the long run. It's an international event, and we are just a little red dot, and we are hosting the event and all that. So I think it's fantastic in that sense. Chief Supremo Bernie Ecclestone has also proclaimed that we are the crown jewels of the F1 circuit. So for the boss to say that, right? I think it says something about our race, our only night race, right, in the F1 circuits.
Even if the contract is not renewed, Singapore will have to serve a 2-year notice, meaning F1 engines will roar at least till 2014. But whatever the outcome, one thing's for sure: Singaporeans are proud to have been part of the Formula One's 65-year history.